When the trash can was tipped over, I heard footsteps outside the door. My heart skipped. I quickly turned on the recorder on my phone and tossed it onto the bed. Carol appeared in the doorway, slithering in like a venomous snake. Then, she shoved me hard to the floor. Pain shot through me, and sweat broke out across my body. But she just smiled sweetly. Laura, losing a child must hurt, doesn't it? All these years, and you're still so pathetic. You gave your kidney to save my daughter, watched your child die, watched your husband bring my daughter home, and now you still stay silent? I feel sorry for you. I tried to get up. Carol picked up a glass from the nightstand, smashed it, and then jammed a shard into her shoulder. Blood gushed out instantly. She screamed, eyes full of tears. Before I could even react, the Sheehan family were in the room. Jeremy rushed in, scooped Carol into his arms, and glared at me with fury. Laura, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you insane? Carol only came to check on you because she was worried. How could you do this to her? His parents glared at me, full of disgust. Sheila stood nearby, bawling her eyes out. You're a bad lady. You hurt my mom. I don't want this bad lady in our home. I want mom. I want mom. Carol clung weakly to Jeremy, crying into his shoulder. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I shouldn't have come to talk to Laura. She just lost her child. She must be overwhelmed with grief. Don't blame Laura. She didn't mean it. I lay on the floor, feeling humiliated, and released a cold laugh. Really? Jeremy, don't you think it's time to explain about my kidney and our child? Jeremy didn't flinch. He just stared at me with the same cold fury. There's nothing left to say between us. His parents, frantic over Carol's injuries, urged him on. Stop wasting time. Get Carol to the hospital now. Without another word, Jeremy carried her out the door. The entire house went silent, leaving only me behind. I took a deep breath and forced the tears back down. Then I packed my things and headed straight to a hotel. The lawyer informed me that the divorce papers were ready. I signed them electronically and told him to deliver them to Jeremy first thing in the morning. As I looked at the flight details for tomorrow, a message from Jeremy came through trying to explain. Carol's already forgiven you. I get that you're upset, but what happened was your fault. No matter how angry you were, you shouldn't have taken it out on her. Anyway, just stay home and wait for me. Let's spend some time with Sheila when I get back. I read Jeremy's message but didn't reply. Instead, I quietly went on packing. I didn't take a single thing that had anything to do with him. After 3 years of living inside the web of lies he spun, I was exhausted mentally, emotionally, completely. When I got to the airport, I stood in front of the departure gate, looking down at the plane ticket in my hand. A one-way trip overseas, and for the first time in a long time, I smiled. I was finally leaving this place where every memory stung. I used to have nothing but Jeremy in my head. I gave up the chance to go abroad with my family just to stay behind and live under his roof, tiptoeing around his world. But my humility never earned me an ounce of respect, only endless humiliation. Thinking about my baby, gone too soon, my tears fell silently down my cheeks. All I brought with me was a single photo of him. It wasn't much, but I wasn't about to leave even that for Jeremy. Right before boarding, I opened the recording I had saved. I had planned to send it to Jeremy immediately but then paused. Instead, I scheduled it to be sent at a later time. Then I pulled out my SIM card and tossed it into the trash. With that, I cut off every connection I had left in this country. I didn't look back as I boarded the plane. At that same moment, back at the Sheehan's manor, Jeremy had just returned only to find the lawyer waiting at the front door. The lawyer didn't waste time. Mr. Sheehan, perfect timing. This is the divorce agreement. Mrs. Sheehan has already signed. Jeremy froze like he'd been struck by lightning. The words hit him like a punch to the gut. What did you just say? He asked, his voice low, slow and laced with a dangerous chill. His assistant looked puzzled, then tried to clarify. The divorce papers, sir. Isn't that what you told? Shut up! Jeremy snapped. He shoved open the front door and rushed inside. The house was silent, empty. There wasn't a single trace of me left. Jeremy's eyes reddened with panic. His mind went completely blank. Laura? He called out. Laura! But there was no answer. The assistant and the lawyer stood frozen in place, shocked by what they were witnessing. The assistant quickly ushered the lawyer away. Jeremy finally looked down at the divorce papers in his hands. A storm of emotions churned inside him, so tangled he couldn't even name them. One memory after another flashed through his mind like a cruel movie reel. He'd always been calm, composed, and in control. But at that moment, even his breathing started to spiral out of control. Jeremy paced through the empty house, heart thudding against his ribs, the echo of his own voice haunting the silence. He checked every room twice, opened every closet, even searched the basement. But Laura was truly gone. He stumbled back into their bedroom, now bare, stripped of her presence. The framed photo of their wedding was missing. So was the drawer full of her scarves. Even her toothbrush was gone. Only then did it truly sink in. He had lost her, not just physically, but irrevocably. He dropped to his knees, clutching the signed divorce papers like they could somehow bring her back. As the weight of everything he had done started to catch up with him, his phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Play this when you're alone." Attached was an audio file. His hands trembled as he pressed play. Carol's voice came through, first mocking, venomous. "You gave your kidney to save my daughter, watched your child die, watched your husband bring my daughter home, and now you still stay silent? I feel sorry for you." Then the sound of glass shattering, a scream, and Jeremy's own voice roaring into the room. "Laura, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you insane?" And finally, Laura's icy calm. "Really? Jeremy, don't you think it's time to explain about my kidney and our child?" Silence. Then a time-stamped log of hospital audio, Jeremy ordering the sterilization, the kidney switch, and his plan to adopt Sheila. The final nail in the coffin. The recording ended. A second message followed. "This is for the courts, not for you. You can keep your lies. I'm keeping my freedom." Jeremy staggered backward like he'd been punched. He gripped the edge of the nightstand, eyes wild, breath shallow. For the first time, Jeremy Smith was truly afraid, not of exposure, but of what he had lost. And across the ocean, thousands of miles away, Laura stepped off the plane into a sunrise she hadn't seen in years. The air smelled different. New. Free. Alvin was waiting at the gate, and when he saw her, he didn't ask a thing. He just hugged her, and for the first time since her baby died, she let herself cry. Not because she was broken, but because she had survived. And now, it was her turn to begin again. 3 months later, halfway across the world, Laura sat on a balcony overlooking a quiet coastal town. She was working part-time at a language institute, helping immigrants adjust to life abroad, teaching English and offering support. Her brother Alvin had found her a small apartment near his home. She lived simply, peacefully. She planted a garden. She journaled. She went to therapy. Each night before bed, she lit a small candle for her son. She didn't speak to Jeremy, but she followed the news enough to know that his empire was falling, that Carol had turned on him under pressure from the authorities, that the investigation had been handed over to federal prosecutors. One evening, a letter arrived from Jeremy. She opened it slowly.